Have you ever been around people where being yourself seemed to short circuit them? Or have you ever been in a situation where someone's telling you you're being too dramatic or you're too much? Then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Sandy. I wanted to come about this video a little differently than I normally do, and I wanted to show it from a different perspective. I wanted to show the nervous system and capacity from a different perspective. It took me a long time to figure this out, but it's so helpful in relationships to understand other people and how to create and enforce healthy boundaries. So I want to share it like this. Here's the different perspective. Sometimes it's easier to see things in other people than we do in ourselves. And then that helps us to relate better and to change things within ourselves or just in our environment. So, for example, growing up, I didn't realize that my dad or my mom didn't have the capacity for a lot. Their capacity for life was very small. So, having a daughter that asked a lot of questions or just was super full of energy, that was way too much for them to even comprehend. Way too much. And they didn't know how to regulate themselves, or the capacity was only so big. So I got told a lot that I was too much, too sensitive, but I wasn't. And neither are you. This is what you've been told. It's their capacity. Now there's different things. My mom probably could have handled the energy, but she couldn't handle emotions. Her emotional capacity was so tiny. She didn't want us to cry in her presence. Can you relate? Sometimes it can be accountability. Do you have anybody in your life that turns everything around on you? That can be super confusing. I just recently made another video, it'll be over here, about a meditation that can help you increase your capacity for good things. Because that's the problem. If our capacity is too small, our capacity is too small for everyday things, then our nervous system is what's driving it. My mom's nervous system, for whatever, she had a bunch of different reasons, probably, and some that I don't even know, was that's just us crying as kids just sent her over. That was just too much. That was just too much for what small capacity she had. So I show in that video a meditation that can help you increase your capacity. The more I learn about the nervous system and the more I've been healing my nervous system, it is profound to me on the importance of your own capacity and the people that you associate with capacity. That was one of the reasons it took me that long in my marriage. I was married for almost 19 years to understand that my now ex-husband, he didn't have the capacity to be in the relationship. He didn't have the capacity. And the thing that I learned early on, and then I seemed to have forgotten, because it was a different environment. But I still had the same capacity, and it wasn't until I increased my capacity, my nervous system capacity, and getting to know myself better, to understand that I don't have to people please. I don't have to. If my dad is unwilling to have a healthy relationship with me, a relationship has to be two ways. If he's unwilling to do that, me trying to chase after him and abandon myself is going to train my nervous system almost to lose capacity. I would even suggest that when we abandon ourselves, we're actually making our capacity smaller. The reason why I say this is because I've noticed the opposite. Every single time I've been working really hard over the last couple of years to not abandon myself. And the more that I haven't abandoned myself, the more that I've stuck to my boundaries, the more that I've had the uncomfortable conversations, the more I've noticed that my capacity has grown in that regard. But then I was still struggling with joy and love because our nervous systems, I don't want to say don't know the difference, but it's the same energy. It's different energy. We have a norm energy, and then joy is going to be a different energy, and sadness is going to be a different energy, and happiness is going to be a different energy. Our nervous system doesn't know how to read the differences. It just knows that it's not the norm. And for a very long time, my nervous system was created in chaos. I lived around chaos. My dad was very chaotic. So my nervous system thought that that was familiar, that was the norm, even though, but the chaos, again, makes our nervous system smaller because there's so much chaos. The chaos is just consuming it. It makes it smaller because we're living in survival. So the only way to get out of survival mode and to change our nervous system capacity is to do it on purpose. It's not going to be perfect, and it's going to be great to exercise. Besides the meditation, it's also good to be around people that, now I want to say this caveat, to be around people, have it in different social situations where you have to use those skills. The other day, and the best one I can share with is that I wanted to see my mom for Mother's Day, and my dad ended up not doing so great that next day, and he ended up having to go to the hospital. So I have been working really hard on creating the life that I want to live with peace and serenity and the least amount of chaos as possible. But there was a situation where we needed to, my mom has to have care. My mom has Parkinson's, so she's technically on hospice. But so we needed to have somebody watch my mom. So I was more than willing to watch my mom for 2 hours because I am allergic to dogs and she has a dog. So I was willing to be there for 2 hours to see how well it would go, and then I needed to leave for my health. But when my brother came back from helping my dad, my mom was really struggling and I didn't know what to do because I haven't had a lot of time to spend with her in this state. So I didn't know what to do, and he told me to take her to the hospital if I didn't know what to do. So I was about to do that when he came back, and I told him my limits. I told him that I can't give my mom the Heimlich if she's choking. I can't do that, or I will be in the hospital. I have shoulder issues and other things, and he doesn't understand this. So I've trained my body in a way that when there is no hope or capacity to hear me, if the other person does not have capacity to hear me, my flight or flight still takes it over. I booked it out of there as fast as possible. I haven't gotten to that point, but this is the point of the story. This is the point that I wanted to share, was that I didn't throw myself under the bus. He was trying to volunteer me to take my mom home with me when I haven't been around her in a while for other reasons that I guess are healing. I was no contact with my dad, and my dad was my mom's sole care provider for a really long time. And I wasn't doing it to punish him. He disowned me, and I respected his boundary, even though it hurt and it was uncalled for. It was the best thing he could have ever done. He set me free from the chaos and the insanity and gave me the opportunity to heal my nervous system in a completely different way that I never thought was possible. Sometimes distance is required. So I felt safe enough to try to spend time with my mom with an aide there, but that day didn't have an aide. But I came back from that situation even though I was freaked out, and it wasn't the same as it had always been for the last 40 some years. So I wanted to leave you with hope. It is possible to heal your nervous system. I'm doing it every single day. It may look messy. You may have to run out of a room because somebody is not listening to your boundaries. But the beautiful thing that I took away from that experience was the fact that I got to come home to, it was the first time that I can remember that I ever got to come back to or home to peace and love. But I got to do that because I created that environment for myself. So now I want to ask you, where are you in your nervous system healing journey? Are you just starting out? Click like if anything resonated with you. This helps more people see this information. Comment below the key takeaway that you enjoyed or more information that you're looking for. I'd love to make more videos on those topics. What about the nervous system are you curious about? If you want to watch more videos, click here.